So I've been looking at reading, processing through this book called Apologetics at the Cross. It is a book based on apologetics for a me-centered culture. We now live in a me-centered culture. All right? Some of the adults and myself did not grow up in a me-centered culture. It just kind of happened over time in life and all the different things that technology has brought us, but we now live in it. And so adults, whenever we were growing up, apologetics was very simple. We argue logic, which means we argue that there's a God, and then we argue that that God is the God that we find in the Bible, and then we argue that Jesus is God, and then we share the gospel. That's generally how apologetics works. That's how you and I were trained. Well, for this generation, for this student body that's coming up, it's backwards. They say the most effective way that we're going to reach this generation is gospel first and then working back through the big concepts of who God is. And I tell you this to know that I know where we come from. I understand where this generation is headed, and we're going to do both in teaching. So on Sunday mornings, we're going to work through Genesis for the next several semesters, probably. It's a big book. There are lots of stories. But there are also incredible concepts about who God is and how God's characteristics speak directly to everyday life for each and every one of us. And then on small groups, high school small groups are going to be on Sunday nights, and middle school small groups are going to be on Wednesday nights. Both small groups are going to work through the same content, and it's going to be Jesus, 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 and more Jesus. Simply for the purpose of trying to go both ways of that paradigm of apologetics, because we don't all learn the same. And we all need constant reminders of who God is and constant reminders of who Jesus is and how Jesus engages in our lives daily. And so we're going to have lots of that this year. And so that's the content. That's really as simple as I can get it. And I like it that way. Simple equals best, in my personal opinion. So Sunday mornings, we meet down in the theater. That may change because we had a full room this morning. And so we may get to the point where we transition back into this room, but for right now, middle and high school, 6 through 12, are meeting in the theater. We had worship led to us by 2 of our students this morning. It was awesome. They did a fantastic job. We had games. It was fun. Your kids sing songs randomly throughout the service. It was pretty entertaining. And then we had a lesson. And today we started a 3-week series on our house rules. So Be Present was today. And I asked your kids, let's commit to being present. Let's commit to showing up. So that was Sunday morning. The reason I like Sunday morning together is that we get to see the family of God in a big picture from 6 to 12th graders, because the 12th graders get to sit right down the pew or the aisle or the blocky seat from the 6th graders and sing right next to them. And the 6th graders get to sit right down the row from some high schoolers, and they get to watch and be like, oh, this kid actually lives this stuff out. It matters. They get to see it, they get to watch each other, and they are constantly watching each other. Now, last year, we made the effort to move high school small groups to Sunday morning. It didn't work. I apologize. We're moving on. High school small groups are moving back to Sunday nights. They're going to be off campus, and we're going to have 3 main high school small group locations. We're going to have 2 homes that are 9th through 11th grade. Those houses are going to be in Lexington and in Forest Acres, and they're going to meet from 5 to 7. And so if you draw a line using I-20 as kind of the guideline, that's probably how we're going to split things up. All right? So if you're on one side, you're going to go to Lexington. If you're on the other, you're going to go to Forest Acres. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to that rule. And I will gladly meet with you and talk to you about all of those exceptions. But here's what I'm asking. for this semester, let's try it. Let's just try it. Let's put in the effort. Let's show up. Because here's what I can tell you. The adult leader teams at both of those houses are fantastic. And I am so excited about the culture and the community that are going to be built inside those homes. The seniors, they're going to meet at my house, and the seniors are actually going to meet from 6 to 8. So do note that it's a little bit different. I don't want you to get confused. 9th through 11th graders are going to meet from 5 to 7. Seniors are going to meet from 6 to 8. And the reason for that is that I would like to go hang out at some of the other houses too. So I'm going to go do that. And it just makes life easier on me. All right? So that's how that's going to work. Midweek is the same as last year with one slight change. All right? We're going to have food. It's going to be awesome because Melinda Timmerman usually hooks us up. And then we're going to have middle school small groups that go from 6:30 to 7:30, and then at 7:30 we play and goof off. None of the chairs are in here. We play games. It's loud, chaotic. Brady's running all over the place. It's intense. All right. I'm sorry, you were there, right? It was eyesight. All right. But it goes bonkers. Now, if you finish your class and you're like, it's time for me to roll, you can come get your kid anytime between 7:30 and 8. Just stay down in the lobby, and we'll take care of it. All right? So just let Rusty and one of his team members take care of that, and we'll handle that. All right? High school on Wednesday nights. This is the change. All right? High school on Wednesday nights. We are going to give high schoolers an opportunity to serve throughout the church. And the reason being for that is that one of the critiques that we see for student ministries across the nation is that student ministries do a great job of building community inside, and then kids leave and they go look for churches that feel like their student ministry, and that generally doesn't happen. But whenever kids get an opportunity to serve in other areas, they feel more ownership within the whole church body. And so on Wednesday nights, we're going to give students an opportunity to serve in media ministry. We already have a couple of seniors that are doing that. Blythe, Waverly, they do a phenomenal job of that. They serve every Sunday morning. It doesn't conflict with anything that we do student ministry-wise. Blythe's always real chill about getting up and leaving, in the middle of whenever I'm talking, and no one ever complains. All right? So, I'm just kidding. I love you. All right. We're going to give you an opportunity to serve in kids ministry. I've already worked out all the details with Pastor First. He has an incredible team of adult leaders, and our kids get to come alongside and help and love on kids and just engage in the face-to-face conversations. Just tell kids they're loved, and that's incredible. So that'll be freshmen all the way up to seniors. They'll have that opportunity. Now we're also going to give juniors and seniors an opportunity to serve in middle school ministry. We're going to have some of our leaders that are there to coach and mentor and all the things, but we have some extremely gifted juniors and seniors that are really good at just being present. And I want to see them leading in our own student ministry and pouring back in, because then we create a culture of them giving back and leading our own kids that then will want to serve, that then will want to lead out. And that is something that I am really excited about. So that is the one change. Now, if we have high schoolers that show up, they're like, I'm not feeling the serving thing, that's totally fine. We're going to have a time where the high schoolers that are just here and present are going to hang out, and we're going to start the school year off with a 4-week series on grace and truth that comes from Right Now Media. It's led by a gentleman named Marquise Cox. He was actually here at Lift Tour the last 2 years. And so he's a phenomenal speaker, extremely gifted. It's all about how to engage hard conversations with lots of grace and don't compromise Scripture. So it's going to be a really good series as well.